What we have here is some piping hot wild Alaskan halibut broth. And the terrific thing about these fish broths is just how very versatile they are. We're going to show you 5 different expressions of the broths. First, I'll show you how to make a breakfast broth, and then a European style broth, 2 Asian style broths, and a Latin style broth. And the thing is, there are so many more beyond that. Just let your imagination go wild. So I'll ladle over some halibut broth. This is becoming a breakfast. So in my breakfast, I'm going to put some boiled eggs, I have some smoked salmon, a little bit of flaked smoked salmon, a few diced mushrooms, always nice to have something green. Here's some bok choy, little bok choy on there. And then something that I nearly always do, because I ferment as well as make broths, is I add a fermented vegetable. So this is fermented red cabbage. I also have some fermented lemon that I use in some other things. Just a few drops of lemon. Don't go crazy with the lemon, just a little tiny bit. And then this is a breakfast broth. So very often, I put that in my coffee cup. I'm building them in a bowl so that you can more easily see them right now. So, next would be a European style broth. And I'm going to make that in this coffee cup. Put some broth. And then this one would have some onions and a few green onions. Some parsley, we'll just pinch it, easier to get. And some dill and parsley. For a little bit of color, I'll go ahead, these are not hot peppers, these are just red peppers.
Caviar.
Capers are always a surprising little flavor. They sink to the bottom, and then your last little bit of the broth is very, very flavorful. And then if you really want to go wild, if you happen to have a little bit of caviar. So, that's a European style broth. Delicious. Delicious. One of my favorites, because I like strong flavors, is the Latin. What I call the Latin style broth. So some nice hot broth. I've got some habanero peppers. And for good measure, I've also got some jalapeno peppers. And then I put some garlic in this one. And then for a little color, some of these, bell peppers that don't really have a lot of flavor, they've got a nice texture. And then something green. So here's some beet leaves, I do believe. But it's a very flavorful broth at that point. Doesn't have a lot of calories in it, but it has so much flavor that it satisfies you for a very, very long time. Okay, so now here is a very interesting twist, surprising in a way, because it's broth, curry powder. Here, I don't know how to operate that thing, so I'll just put some in. And then what's really surprising, but very, very good, is coconut milk. Coconut milk in the broth. And then we'll add some rice. You can add a little bit of rice or quinoa to any of these expressions. And then in order to give it some color, these are some fireweed flowers that we collected in the summertime. Looks like I want something green in there, so here are some green bell peppers. And this makes just a very surprising flavor, very much like a Thai flavor, with the curry and the coconut. Actually matches very, very well with the fish broth. Very often I like to use quinoa instead of rice, but you know, that's up to each person. So I need one more container, so just one moment while I grab one. So this is just more traditional Oriental Chinese, just to point out the fact that ginger is very, very good in the broth. Ginger and bok choy and some green peppers. Well, I'm going to add some of these red things right here, the red bell peppers. And a little bit of fermented cabbage. So it turns into a melody of colors and a melody of flavors, and it's a very, very satisfying and easy thing to do. So this broth, the way it comes, it has a very nice mild flavor, but you can build it out with many sorts of different expressions. One thing that I do when I don't have a lot of things at hand is I just put a little bit of Tabasco in it. The broth, a few dashes of Tabasco, is very, very flavorful to me. Like in the European one, I would put some black pepper. So this is just to give you an idea of the versatility of the broth and the different things that you can do with it. And
Feta and mushrooms?
So there's also feta cheese here, and there's mushrooms, and what else did I not put in? Well, I think I've mentioned everything else, but it's just very, very versatile what can be done. You can build your own broth any way that you like. So here's just one last look at a breakfast broth. I have this almost every morning, except it's in a great big coffee cup. And that's breakfast. And so I don't have any big glycemic load from potatoes or from bread. And it's a really good way to start the day without an insulin spike. So that's all for this video. On another video, we'll tell you the nutritional reasons why you want to put fish broth in your life on a daily basis.